And there she goes, ladies and gents. XRP has managed to see a big move up here from this consolidation that we were talking about. It is now already up by 30% within just a matter of hours. We made a exclusive XRP video here on YouTube and an exclusive thread about it on Twitter as well, which did really, really well. Check it out right here. We made a whole thread about it, talking to you about how I plan on trading this market as well. So check it out if you're interested with the top link in the description. But right now, we're going to talk about how much higher this coin could be going because it has officially started its second wave here, and that all-time high is now very, very close. Okay, I mean, in terms of percentage gains, that is only a 50% move, 40% move to $2, which is the high that we set in the previous market cycle, and our real all-time high is going to be $3.34. So definitely some way left to go for XRP, but on that logarithmic scale, we are now very, very close to actually getting there. And so what I want to break down for you is the importance of this move here, because we have seen a big explosion for XRP. But the bigger thing that this represents right now is that this is not a one pump and then done type event. And that is actually the single most important thing about XRP, because as we already know, we've been talking about it, those of you that are subscribed, XRP has the most horrific price action in the market, right? I keep forgetting where the camera is. I got two cameras. XRP has the most horrific price action in the market, where it tends to get really, really big pumps and then it just loses all of those gains and comes right back down. And one of the things that we need to tell us that XRP is actually going to be in a good place is to pull off a first pump, consolidate, and then break out again. And that is exactly what this chart has given us, which to me makes this officially a significantly higher chance of breaking out higher now. And let me substantiate this further for you guys, right? Take a look at this right here. If we look at any move that XRP has pulled off over the last couple of years, most of the time what you're going to see are really, really big, massively manipulated pumps like this right here. Obviously, this is one of the most ridiculously manipulated coins in the market, and I still don't know. I still don't understand how XRP are. We don't understand that. But, you know, what we tend to see are just continuous, you know, very, very short-lived pumps. We're talking about pumps. In this case, it took 25 days, but no consolidation, no further moves up, a total of a 50% gain. Look, it happens again over here, and it happens again over here. But then sometimes we actually manage to pull off a more substantial pump, a little bit like the big one from 2021. And the reason that this is interesting is that, you know, it moves up, but then it kind of consolidates for a little bit, and then it continues moving up, and it really actually performs quite well, right? From this low up to the high, that's going to be a 1000% move, and then from this low up to this high, that's still a 400% move, which is definitely good price action for XRP. And then we can see how it really kind of took place here back in 2017, 2018, because this was the more impressive stuff. And what we saw was that XRP produced a series of legs, right? Up and then sideways, up and then retracement, up, and then in this case, like weird, all sorts of all over the place, and then up, right? And so in this case, there are almost like 3-4 distinct bull waves for XRP. But what we can see from most other pumps throughout XRP's history is that you only really get that one wave, right? You get that one wave and then you're done. You know, in this case here, it was 2 waves, but the waves were very small, right? So we're not too interested in that. And it's also market environment, right? I think one of the big reasons that this could be a real breakout for XRP is just the fact that Bitcoin's now kind of flirting with that $99,000 price level. It's absolutely insane, but we are sitting at $99,000 right now. So that's definitely, I think, creating a very bullish atmosphere, a lot of excitement. We're not actually seeing anything crazy yet, right? Like Bitcoin's dominance has set a brand new high and it has come back down potentially, I think, for a new higher low, right? I'm actually expecting that this is going to continue to move up, obviously, and continue to sweep its highs. And so I still don't think because of that, you know, holding XRP as a super long-term hold is going to be the best decision right now, but it is clearly paying off right now. And it's clearly paying off more than what I said in one of my previous videos, where I was just absolutely ripping into the XRP army, saying that all of these dumps don't ever end up standing. Clearly that was wrong, so I'm quite happy to say that. There's no problem saying I'm wrong. As long as I'm not losing money, I'm very happy, and I can rest assured I am absolutely not losing money in this market. Obviously, those of you that have been following me here on Twitter, you already get it. You know, I'm still in this beautiful $3,500 profit. I'm sorry, 3,500% profit. There is a hell of a lot more than 3.5K that I gained on this trade, and of course, my TRX trade is also up by like, I don't know, 1600% or something absolutely insane right now. So if you do want to trade these markets, including XRP, these exchanges linked below are going to give you free money that you can throw into the market, and any profits that you generate with that capital are going to be yours to keep. Take a look at this. This is absolutely huge. Blowfin keeps running very, very aggressive bonuses where, depending on your trading volume, you're just going to get free shit like an Apple Watch or a Herman Miller chair. I'm sitting on one right now. It's really good. Or a camera, travel fund, a bike, and my favorite, the Tesla Model 3. $300 million in trading volume is a lot, but it's not as much as you think, especially compared to a Tesla Model 3. So check them all out if you're interested. You get really cool bonuses when you start trading, only if you're not in a restricted region, okay? If your country blocks you from using these platforms, then obviously you shouldn't break your laws. But check it out if you are allowed to. Lots of cool stuff there waiting for you. But bringing it back to XRP here, it's the fact that we have produced, quite a substantial second wave here. Granted, this is only an 18-day move so far, and previously we've seen even 25 days. So in terms of time frames, we definitely can go on for longer. But I think it's also substance. It's the fact that Bitcoin is now at $99,000, and it's potentially about to break 100K. And at the same time, XRP has managed to consolidate in a really healthy way and then produce a second leg up. To me, that makes this feel much more real as far as price action for XRP goes. I still obviously believe that this is one of the shittest shitcoins that I've ever... No, I believe it's the shittest of all shitcoins that have ever been created. But again, ladies and gents, every time I tell you that, I'll also remind you that shit, if there's money to be made, I mean, I'm agnostic when it comes to making money, ladies and gents. I mean, I'm just out here trying to stack. So, if there are some gains here, that's cool with me. There is a little bit of resistance right now that XRP is facing, so that's probably why it's struggling right here. But if it is able to pop through this level, then it's going to have its next kind of block at about $2 really, where it topped out previously. Obviously, there was a little bit of kind of stuff going on in this price range back in 2017, 2018 as well. We can get a kind of better view of what these support resistance levels are looking like if we kind of zoom in, and there's definitely some kind of resistance to be found in this range where XRP has kind of stopped moving up for a little bit. And if we drag this even further back, this does stretch all the way back to 2017 and 2018. So I think definitely reasonable to see XRP kind of stalling out over here. If this turns into another consolidation zone, then that would probably make me, publicly tell you that I'm buying a bag of XRP. To be honest, I think that would probably push me over the edge, because another bit of kind of consolidation here, would make this very, very interesting. And the other thing that this becomes interesting because of is just the price ranges up here, right? I mean, XRP does produce absolutely insane wicks, and that makes it really dangerous to trade. However, it's not looking too hard to place a stop loss down here either, right? I mean, if XRP were to fall, I don't know, let's say down to like $1.24, it's probably falling substantially lower. And so, that makes it very easy for me to start setting stop losses. Because one thing that XRP doesn't do, right, and we know this very well, XRP is a one-trick pony. XRP is literally get in on the pump, make your 1,000%, make your 500%, whatever it's going to be, and then get the fuck out and move to something else. And that's always how XRP has been, right? You look at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's like more of a sustained upward price action thing, right? You get like really, really nice price action. You get, nice rounding bottoms. You get a move up followed by sideways consolidation with a move up and then vertical accumulation and then sideways accumulation and move up. And then you have a nice, descending channel, and then you break out. Like Bitcoin has a really, really nice chart. XRP has a chart that literally just tells you a story of retail getting absolutely screwed because they are desperate and unable to understand the facts of this market and how this market works. And so, to me, that makes an invalidation very easy to set, because I know that if XRP starts pulling back, then it's done. It doesn't typically continue on higher. It can pull back on super short-term time frames, right? Like we can get like a daily wick, something a little bit like that. That would be totally cool. But, if we start doing something a little bit like this, I'm not expecting that it's coming back up to that high, right? And so that makes it quite easy to put these kind of invalidations down. And like I said, ladies and gents, tons of free cash waiting for you if you want to start trading using these platforms here. All you've got to do is make your deposit and start trading. A lot of you have already signed up, but you haven't got your bonus yet, especially users on Blowfin. all you've got to do is deposit and start trading, and that's how you get the capital. There's no point just registering. But there you go, and only, again, if you're not in a restricted region. But yeah, what we have here is a very, very nice USD chart, a very nice consolidation zone. I would say that, you know, if it kind of comes back down to some previous zones of support, then that could be a buy. But like I said, you know, that typically just doesn't happen, right? When XRP is kind of doing its thing, it doesn't really come back down for retracements. And if it does, the retracements almost don't really even make sense. I mean, you know, XRP had never traded down at these levels before, and then it kind of yeah, and then it managed to move up, right? So, you know, they're seemingly random. They're not very easy to analyze, and that's why, you know, when this thing starts pumping, that's kind of all you have to do is just wait for it to go, and you know, obviously taking profits always very, very smart, because this is now up by nearly 3x within, you know, basically whatever, like, I don't know, 2 weeks that it's been rallying up. So very, very big gain here for XRP, and definitely, I think, super smart for anybody that's kind of considering, you know, at least taking some profits. I certainly don't think I'd be exiting if I was holding a shit ton of XRP right now, but I absolutely would be taking some off the table just for good risk management, right? I think a big thing that people don't really understand, and especially people who trade markets like this, is that, you know, we're not interested in necessarily hitting a home run today on this one trade, because if we hit a home run, but then we have bad principles and we have a bad ethos when we approach the market, we're not going to be able to do it again. In fact, more likely we're going to lose our money, and we're going to lose a lot of it. And so by turning that around and actually saying, you know what, I think this thing can still run, but I've got principles, I've got rules, I've got a rule set. XRP Army won't understand this, but you and I, you know, people who just want the money, we don't really care what coin we're trading, you and I will get this very, very well. And that's what this YouTube channel is all about, right? I mean, smash up the likes, hit the subscribe button if this kind of vibes with you. It definitely vibes with me. It's about understanding that if you operate from first principles, then you're going to protect yourself in the long run. You might make a little bit less money on this particular trade, but you'll probably not lose your money moving forward, and you'll probably just continue to stack over time, and you'll just stay super successful as a trader. I've been doing this for over 7 years, so I speak about this stuff with a lot of confidence, and I've been all over the game. I've traded with all sorts of different styles and perspectives, and this is the only one that works. The other perspectives, they're too brazen, they're too extreme, and what happens is you might make a little bit of money, but you're extremely unlikely to hold on to it, because the exact same thinking that took you here is the same thinking that will destroy you. That's been my experience of, you know, and I've worked with thousands of traders since I started to trade. So, you know, I feel like that's something that I've kind of had a lot of experience with here. But again, really, really nice situation here. And if you do appreciate these kind of real chats, then definitely smash them up and check if you're subscribed here. Now, the other big chart that I want to talk to you about is the Bitcoin chart, because this is the one that gets a lot more interesting, right? I mean, if a coin has potential to rise up against Bitcoin, you know, then you're going to see me sitting down on the table and paying attention, because I want to make more Bitcoin. And XRP right now is at I would say the most dangerous resistance level on its entire chart against Bitcoin. And I'd say that this is kind of the main thing that makes me concerned that XRP might not be able to continue to go higher. This is super serious, and I honestly think that it depends more on Bitcoin, right? I don't think that this is an XRP discussion, but if Bitcoin starts smashing through resistance levels like $100,000, and if it starts getting to 105, 110 by the end of this week, for example, or, you know, something very, very soon, then I would not expect XRP to hold on to these gains. I would probably expect it to come back down. I'd probably expect XRP, to be honest, guys, you know, because I'm just gonna go ahead and, you know, speak freely, say whatever the hell's on my mind. You know, if we take a look at this thing, I mean, you know, I actually believe that XRP could be coming all the way back down to, you know, if we just go ahead and there we go. Put this on the weekly, you know, I mean, I would not be surprised whatsoever if XRP just, you know, basically retraced almost all of this move back down, you know, to do something a little bit like, I need to get my paintbrush tool, to do something a little bit like this. Maybe it finds a higher floor, and then it kind of slowly, and then something like that, right? That's what I would expect if Bitcoin flies through $100,000. I would expect this rally to end. I would expect this rally to basically finish off. I don't know if it means it goes all the way down to the average, or if it establishes a higher baseline. You know, maybe we establish a higher baseline, but it doesn't matter. You'd still be losing a lot of money. if you're buying up here, but then I would probably expect that, eventually that alt season is going to come. And, now that XRP has moved up so heavily against the dollar, that does kind of pave the way for a much bigger price explosion later on. And it's going to wash out a lot of hands. It's going to make people feel very depressed. And I think that's the part of the market that we haven't actually come to yet. We've been very happy and very, very excited for a while. We've got a 94 reading on the Fear and Greed Index, which is just insane. It's just absolutely crazy. A 94 reading on the Fear and Greed Index. I mean, we don't really come this high. I mean, there's 95 right there. There's 92, but this is kind of like the all-time high as far as, dominance ratings. Fear and greed ratings go for Bitcoin. And so, we're obviously, we're due to get humbled. And I don't know exactly when that's going to come. I think now is a perfect time for that to happen. Maybe Bitcoin, smashes through 105, 110, and then very, very quick flash crash. I actually think that's incredibly likely to happen. I think that's very, very likely to happen. But either way, I don't know how it's going to come, but I do think it is going to come. And I think that when it does come, you are going to see a very big washout in the market. And I do not expect XRP to stand strong if that were to happen. And, you don't really have to even take my word for it. You just have to look at the history of XRP, which is very, very clearly, this is very, very clearly, ladies and gents, a chart where just look at this extreme wick right here. When XRP tops, it's like I said, earlier about Bitcoin and XRP, when XRP tops, it doesn't kind of, do something a little bit like this and then, drop down, but then maybe capture a little bit of support and then, come back down and then capture some more support. It doesn't do stuff like that. It doesn't consolidate and then maybe, take a little bit of a dip lower and then, it doesn't do shit like that. XRP is literally just straight pump to the sky, maybe a day or two up here to sell, and then you're right back down. And that means, it's a market. It's a good thing. I mean, if you understand what it is, you can kind of pivot yourself and be ready to exit when the time is right. So, this doesn't have to be a horrible thing. You just need to be very, very careful, because most likely if you're interested in a coin like XRP, you probably don't have a great education in crypto just by default because you've ended up in XRP, which is fine. We all start there. I certainly started there. Even with XRP myself, I was one of those people all the way back in 2017. And so that definitely happens, and that's totally okay with me. But it's about, now that you're here, now that you've seen the light, it's about understanding how this market actually behaves, because a lot of people are going to be buying this coin seeing that it went up to, $3 a couple of years ago, or maybe 7 years ago, actually, 6 years ago. A lot of people are going to be seeing that, and they're going to think that it's going to get to $3 and then get to $5 and then get to $10. And all of these things can happen, and I would love to see them happen. They would be great. There'd be a lot of money made if that did happen. However, they might also expect that it's just going to continuously make them rich forever. But the reality for XRP, like I said, is very, very different. The reality for XRP is that it's going to pump up, and then you're going to have a little bit of time, not very long at all, to take profits, and then it's going to come right back down, maybe even lower than where it started. I think that's really, really important to keep in mind, because that really helps kind of structure plans to trade markets like this. And I think the other big thing that I'd say is it's so easy to, sell over here in a 3x gain and then miss the next 2x on top. So a total of a 6x gain. It's very easy to miss out on that, if you take yourself out of the market at stages like this here. But I don't think that's a problem at all. You're still pulling a big profit, and if you kind of get caught up on what you could have had but what you didn't end up getting, then you're not going to set yourself up for success in your next trade. You're going to be a little bit too toxic in your head, and that's not going to serve you. So I think that's really important. But ladies and gents, I do have to highlight this Twitter thing again. We put a massive thread out here. It did really well. You guys loved it. And I want to highlight this to you guys a little bit. So XRP holders are in for a massive shock. I'm already in a 3,500% gain, and I intend on repeating that here. Here's what's in store. Here's what could be in store for XRP. It has a history of extremely poor performance. It tripled, and then it lost most of those gains. And this is really interesting. Take a look at XRP here. In 2014, it ended up trading down here at 0.034 against the dollar, and then in 2017, it ended up trading at levels lower than where we were in 2014. Like all of 2014 kind of happened above this green line, and XRP dipped below that in 2017, right? So this is a coin that just regularly sees massive pumps and dumps like this, but again, it's that Bitcoin chart that just makes this so much more interesting to me, because if it can break that resistance level, then it's going to be very, very hard to say where this thing can go. And if we're talking about XRP, no longer having problems with various 3-4 letter agencies of the U.S. federal government, then that could be all that this chart needs to kind of really break through resistance. And if it does break through resistance, again, it's XRP we're talking about, right? So I might say that there's another kind of block of resistance up here. Let's go ahead and draw that just to kind of show you what we might be working with. Something that maybe looks a little bit like this, but for the most part, we get above this, and certainly if and when we get above this, because it's XRP, I'd probably expect it to just explode higher. And, these figures, they become ridiculous, right? I mean, XRP already has a very high market cap. If we go ahead and look at XRP with its market cap, its market is now worth $80 billion. So, if XRP did manage to double, let's say, I would probably expect it to, its market cap would reach 160. If it were to explode against Bitcoin, and, let's say on this, by this comparison, let's say, I don't know, it moves up by, let's say a 4 times gain against Bitcoin, right? That could put XRP's market cap, above 200 billion, above $300 billion. And these numbers become insane. They become difficult to believe. And the reason that I'm not worried about that is because XRP won't hold on to it, right? XRP is probably going to reach that valuation and then, like I said, stay there for a very short period of time and then come back down. And so you can literally just chalk it up to being a classic bubble. That's all it is. Like, XRP's chart is just a series of bubbles throughout the last 7-8 years. And so if that's the case, actually, it's quite conceivable that this kind of breakout can happen, because you can understand how it would look. And if you can understand how it would look, and then you can kind of evaluate it to see if it seems probable to happen, then yeah, I don't think it looks super unlikely. I think that something like this could be on the cards for XRP, especially because I'd expect it to lose those gains. So it wouldn't have to stay unrealistic. I'm okay with a market being unrealistic for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, right? But a market staying unrealistic for an extended period of time, I don't think that happens particularly often. You might think that that's happening right now, and that's why we're not in a depression. And you might be right about that, but for the most part, I don't really subscribe to those type of theories, especially for this somewhat shorter term style of trading compared to the kind of doomsday depression recession narrative that everybody is kind of getting really excited by these days. Or maybe they're not so excited anymore because Trump got elected. I don't know. But, me personally, I like to look at it this way. It keeps me realistic, and it basically makes sure that I can kind of maximize my gains in the market. But that is a 22 minute video on XRP. I'm kind of surprised that I did something that long. If you did enjoy it, make sure to smash up those likes. Double check that you're subscribed, hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on this very time sensitive content. And if you want to get free money to trade these markets with, then all you've got to do is sign up and start trading using these links below. And you can do that if you're not from a restricted region. And then these platforms are going to give you free money to trade with. So check it out if you're interested. We've also got our huge exclusive offer. It's a 12-week program working directly one-to-one with me. And we have seen phenomenal results. It's very expensive, it's very serious, but if you are interested, if you think that this might be something for you, all skill levels are welcome. We have never had somebody fail to pay off that investment fee so far, which is definitely very, very cool. If you want to get yourself inside, then please do reach out by checking me out on that link. But with that, ladies and gents, I'm going to see you all in the next one. I really hope you have enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Cheers.